Okay, I see that we're live. Let me check. Pump Fun. We are live. All right, hold on. Let me go ahead and pin it on my X. Okie dokie. Pin to my profile. Slam that. All right. All right, fantastic. We're live. What's up, guys? This is Overexposed. I'm Eddie, aka Dancing Eddie. We've got a lot to talk about today, but things are going electric. We run this show every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern time. You know the deal. We run this live on X, on Pump.Fun, and on Twitch. So if you guys are interested, you know where to find us. That's Overexposed OVR Exposed on Pump.Fun. On Twitch, what are we on Twitch? Dancing Eddie _ just like my X account. So at Dancing Eddie _ It's funny that I didn't know that off the top of my head. Oh, that's great. That's great. We have so much to talk about, though, so we're going to hop right into it, chat. Right into it. And we're just go ahead and scroll from there. Send it, Chris. Let's do it. Oh, hold on. Give him a sec. All right. I just found out about this. Breaking news. Luigi Mangione. Is that how it's? Mangione. Breaking news. A Minnesota man, Mark Anderson, just tried to bust Luigi Mangione out of jail. Like the guy who allegedly shot the United Healthcare CEO, right? Some guy pretended to be an FBI agent and got past multiple layers of security and tried to actually bust Luigi Mangione out of prison. Unbelievable. I mean, I don't know what this is. So, this tweet is kind of, what's going on here? Minnesota left it. What are we talking about? It's just not everything has to be political, my guy. At least not in that sense. But some guy felt compelled to pretend to be the FBI to bust out Luigi Mangione. This is a guy who shot someone, allegedly. He shot someone. We don't need to bust him out of jail. What is this, like a heist? Is this GTA 6? Pre-release? What's going on? Is that MDC? Also MDC in New York City. Low-key, the celebrity who's who of prisons. Name a famous guy. He's there. Who's there? Puff? Diddy's there. I think that was where Epstein was. Luigi Mangione. SBF was held there for a time. Name your favorite criminal. They probably spent some time at MDC. MDC is the modern day Alcatraz. Except just apparently not nearly as secure. Some random guy got past multiple levels of security. Unbelievable. This got me fired up. These Super Bowl ads are absolutely ridiculous. I'm out of my mind. I'm kind of livid about this stuff. All right. So Pepsi thought, let's post our Super Bowl ad 2 weeks before the actual game. 2 weeks. Dude, I get excited for the Super Bowl. I get excited for Super Bowl ads. I don't like these Super Bowl ad spoilers that all these companies are starting to go with. Why are we launching this ad 2 weeks before the game? I was looking forward to sitting down during the game or being with a bunch of friends, hanging out, watching the game. Oh, wow, that's awesome. That's funny. I would have laughed at this. That's a great meme. That's a great callback. I probably would have been like, oh, that's funny. Oh, me and my friends would be like, oh, that's funny. That's cool. I'm glad they're doing, it's a fun meme. But no. Instead, I've now seen it 2 weeks beforehand. And I don't care. Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's clever, right? The Coke Zero polar bear is like, oh my God, I'm interested more in the Pepsi over the Coke Zero. Oh, that's clever. That's a funny advertisement. But instead, now I've already seen it. It's already been spoiled. I don't care. And now during the game itself, you could bet that during this commercial, I'm going to get up and go grab a Coke Zero because I'm no longer interested in whatever Pepsi's offering me. I get livid over this. They do it with movies too. They've been advertising movies and showing off spoilers to the movies in the trailer. Why am I going to go watch a 2.5-hour movie when I already know how it ends by watching the trailer? Who's doing this? Who are the people tasked with there are people that are paid salaries, living wages to create these marketing plans. And part of the marketing plan is let's spoil the whole thing. Let's ruin the big reveal. I wanted to be laughing at this during the Super Bowl, and instead, I'm going to be like, oh, cool, I've already seen this. I've already seen it 3 times while recording this clip. Dude, I'm actually, I should not be this mad at this. But it's ridiculous. It's like, what has society come to? What has society come to if we can't even watch Super Bowl ads without getting them spoiled by the companies themselves 2 weeks before they go live? The big game ads. Anyway, whatever. It's just ridiculous. It's just stupid. Is what I'd have to say. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, let's see, what else we got to talk about today? Oh, I'm going to talk about that too, for sure. I'm just scrolling down to see, because there's definitely a lot on the mind for today. Whew, and I need like a breather, because I was actually heated about that one. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay. Yeah, okay, so we'll start here. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. No. Nope. Nope. Where was it? Damn. All right, we'll just start around here. Perfect. That's what I was looking for. Great. Pokemon cards have been absolutely the rage in the last 6 months, even last 2 years. They've been absolutely going psycho mode. Prices have been going through the roof on Pokemon cards like Charizard, you name it. Hasbro is being sued by its own shareholders for printing so many of their own Magic cards and, quote, destroying the long-term value of the brand. It's so funny to watch the Magic the Gathering group, like the MTGO, whatever, like those guys, the words. It's funny to watch the Magic the Gathering guys be like, hey, we could have had a game that was as performant, if not more performant, than Pokemon in terms of, the value and appreciation of the cards. But you guys overprinted. Like, you guys way overprinted the cards. Most cards are worth almost nothing. And instead, we could have been enjoying the success that is Pokemon. I could have retired off my Magic the Gathering cards, but no, it's not the case. So Hasbro is being sued by its own shareholders for printing so many of their cards. Let me tap into this real quick. I want to see if there's anything here. Oh, dude, it's ridiculous. This is one of those crap. This is one of those crap websites. We're in 2026, and I run this computer. Okay, this computer is one of the most powerful machines known to man. All right, it is unbelievably powerful. My internet is phenomenal, and these people design these websites so badly that it takes 30 minutes to load. And in the process, shuts down my computer. This is ridiculous. I don't even care anymore. Sharing off this tab. But that's funny. That's funny. Hopefully there's enough in there to clip that. All right. Dude, I actually got so heated on that Super Bowl thing. Like, it actually makes me mad. Because I genuinely am looking forward. I am looking forward to the Super Bowl and sitting down and watching the Super Bowl itself and the ads. Like, I love the commercials during the Super Bowl. And as of the last 2-3 years, it's just been like, this funny ad that you were going to laugh at with all of your friends. You just see it randomly, completely spoiled on Twitter 2 weeks before. And I'm not even in the mood. I'm not in the vibe to be like, oh, that's funny with my friend. Frustration. The frustration overwhelms me. But that's all right. That's all right. We continue regardless. We continue regardless. Anduril is doing something very interesting. They are doing an AI Grand Prix. What that means is they're giving people, Anduril is giving teams of technologists and engineers hardware that's kind of basic spec, right? Like all the drones are going to all look exactly the same. They're giving them a bunch of just identical drones, and they're saying, you have to design not the drone that's going to fly this race course, but the AI that is going to control the drone that flies this race course. And the first drone that wins, the whatever drone that comes in first place, that team gets $500,000 and jobs. The whole team gets jobs at Anduril. That's actually really, like, this is, if you get excited about AI, if you get excited about technology, this is how it's done. You pay people to have an awesome, fun, genuinely real competition where you do something cool. Here, in this case, making AI that flies drones in a racing scenario. You have to just, dodge, dip, dodge, weave, whatever. Dip, dodge, duck. The 5 Ds. Dip, dive, duck, dodge. There's 2 dodges. Dodge, dip, dive, duck, and dodge. Obstacles. And I think that's awesome. That's actually awesome. In fairness, it's funny. Like, we know what this is going to be used for. This is going to be used for drones flying around in urban areas for, generally speaking, like warfare purposes. And we're giving drones, the things that fly around and have been annoying people for the better part of the last decade, the ability to fly around autonomously and make decisions autonomously of its own accord, which we all know how AI has been handling the past, few years or so. It's like, hey, ChatGPT, solve this problem, make no mistakes. It comes back and it's like, I've just completely bundled the entire thing you asked me for, but it looks pretty. You're like, ChatGPT, no, that is not the diagram that I was asking you for. Oh, my mistake. Sorry about that. And except now it's instead of just like your essay that it's messing up, it is a drone with military capabilities that it's like, oops, my bad. Sorry, we'll do better next time. What do you mean you'll do better next time? The target's been eliminated. And so has everything in a square mile of the target. Sorry, didn't mean to share those nuclear codes. Oopsie daisy. All right, Grok. All right. But hey, look, if they, this is one of those things where it's like, at this point, I've accepted that we are going full throttle with AI. Like, we are literally full throttle as fast as you can go. That's actually the goal of this competition that Anduril is running. And at this point, my hope is that they actually just do a good job. That they actually just do it right. The guys at Anduril seem pretty smart. They seem like they know what they're doing generally. I hope they pull it off because, I mean, it's one of those things, right? Like, Boeing did for a long time a great job with planes. The last few years, not as much. But for a long time, they did a great job with planes. Now, flying is the safest thing on the planet. And my hope is that AI gets there too. That would be awesome. It would be awesome if AI is, on the whole, way safer than anything else. I think we can get there. I'm an AI optimist, personally. But yeah, we'll see. I think this is cool. I think this is actually, like, if you're going to run a tech company, this is how you should do it. Run competitions that get people excited, that do something fun, that you can film, share, make tons of content out of, and at the end of it, you give people jobs and money. It's cool with me. All right, hold on. I gotta react to this one.
Once, but not again. I'm going to warn you once, but not again. Latvia is not a safe country. If you're a single man and you go to Latvia, like, okay, you might want to be approached, but if you're married,
Am I gonna get, like, shot?
Absolutely stay clear of Latvia. If you're a married man and you go there with a ring on your finger, it doesn't matter. The girls will literally, like animals, pounce.
Yo.
You're a foreign man, you got a wedding ring, even more of a challenge. And trust me, these
Who is
Latvian
she?
girls love a challenge. I mean, they're in constant competition because there's just not enough men. They
Boys.
crave
Boys.
men like you. Married, or not.
Boys, we're
There
going to
have been men,
Latvia.
I know, who have been married.
We're going to Latvia. That's it. I'm down. I've heard. I need to hear no more. Who is she, by the way? Like, hello. Okay. So hold on.
Gone on a lad's trip because there was a couple of single guys who wanted a woman. Ended up cheating, having an affair. Oh no, a bun inside the Latvian woman's oven. Boom, divorced. Because he only went on holiday and then got another family, you know. Happens all the time. Just be careful.
I'm going. I'm going to Latvia. We're going. Lads, we're going to Latvia. I need to hear no more. Sounds terrible. When are we leaving? Boys, I'm in. New bachelor party hotspot. See, I don't know if I trust that, so we're just going to keep going. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, Tether is maybe the greatest crypto business of all time. I don't know what to say about this. All they do is they take in people's money, they turn it into treasuries, they invest it at like the safest possible options on the planet. They make infinite money off of it. It's literally an infinite money glitch. They take all that infinite money glitch, they amass the most gold on the planet. And then gold goes on a super run that has outpaced Bitcoin in the last 5 years. Tether might actually be the GOAT. Like, Tether might actually be the GOAT company of all time. People just give them money hand over fist just so that they can get the stable coin, USDT, so that they can... Well, Tether is like, when it comes to sell picks and shovels, right? When there's a gold rush, you sell picks and shovels. They have the picks and shovels super mall. They sold all the picks and shovels. USDT has been the primary pair unit outside of Bitcoin since of all time in crypto. And in the process, they've just been making free 4, 5, even maybe up to 6% for free on billions of dollars, and then have taken all the money and they're investing it in other companies that are generally doing fairly decent, and buying the largest known gold hoard outside of nation states and banks. 140 tons of gold, which it keeps safe in a nuclear bunker. Bro. And apparently they want more. Holy crap. That's amazing. What a business. And what's funny is we have the Genius Act in the United States of America, which sets, very specific criteria, regulations, requirements for stablecoin companies and stablecoin issuers, and says like, hey, your stores of value need to be pretty specific because they need to be safe. Like, we need to know that the assets that people are trading and using are safe and are not going to implode on themselves, right? Like UST, like Terra stablecoin. And they're like, yeah, so we can't comply with those safety stuff. Well, I mean, we'll make a new one. They literally just launched a new token. They launched a new token that is specifically compliant with Genius because USDT is not compliant. And yet it's one of the best businesses on the planet. Like, you can't make this stuff up. What an unbelievable achievement that Paolo and that entire team have pulled off to amass the largest known hoard of gold outside of nation states. What is he, like Mansa Musa? Is that the guy's name? Genghis Khan. Impressive. Yeah, so I got to talk about this. So apparently Google agreed and settled to pay $68 million for allegedly secretly listening to its users. And people are taking this pretty badly. This is so funny because everyone was like, oh, this thing is listening to me. And it turned out it was, in fact, listening. Okay, there are some weird stories. Like, if you talk into your phone, you've got your phone around, you're like, hey, I really like lamb chops. 10 minutes later, your phone is filled with advertisements for lamb chops. I really like shiny red toys. And 18 minutes later, you're like, oh my God, look at all these shiny red toys. Surely it just knows exactly what I want. No, this thing, it's probably listening. Like, these things are actually probably listening to you. And people are freaking out. But I will say this, $68 million for Google is like a couple minutes. Like, Google makes $68 million every few minutes at this rate. Like, it's not, it's a joke. It's actually a joke. So for them to be paying $68 million in one of these lawsuits is probably indicative of, like, there probably actually wasn't that much there. There probably wasn't actually that much there to be, discussed about, right? Like, there wasn't that much damning evidence for it to only be $68 million. So they're just like, dude, we don't want to go through the discovery. We don't want to give you access to these files. We don't want to give you access to our drives. None of that. They don't want to deal with that. They don't want to deal with discovery, which could take years. They just want this over and done. And said, you know what? To shut you guys up because we couldn't get past the motion to dismiss, here's $68 million. So I wouldn't take this. I would take this with a grain of salt. Like, it really is not that much money. But Google is 100% listening. Like, these companies are definitely listening. I've had some weird things with my phone where I'll be talking about, who knows? I've been talking about stuff on the stream. I'll just talk about it on stream, and then 10 minutes after I close up the stream, I'll open up my phone and I'll get advertisements perfectly about what I was talking about on stream. So yeah, like, it's definitely listening, but I wouldn't read too much into this. Like, if you guys see this headline that Google has agreed to pay, it's settlement. It's not saying, like, they're not saying that we had stuff. They're just settling, and $68 million is really just not that much money. Not to Google. Not to Google, it's not a lot of money. To me, $68 million is a lot of money. Would. Yeah, let's talk about this. My God, dude, I've got, like, the sniffles. I don't know what's going on. I'm sniffling like a sniffling dog. Sniffle, sniffle. All right. Mega ETH's public mainnet is going live on February 9th, 2026, which, by the way, we're in an international space. Why are we labeling things in American or international? Like, just say February. Just say February. Because otherwise, what is this? Like, September 2nd, maybe? Who knows? But Mega ETH is going live in just a few weeks. I'm excited about it personally. I assume that this means that the TGE will also go live at that time. ICO investors will probably be getting a lot less of their. Let's say if they put in $1,000, they'll get $100 or the equivalent of in terms of their ICO tokens day of. I don't know if it's 10%, 20%, what. But one can assume that they're not going to get the whole allocation on day one. I think Mega ETH might actually be the single most exciting new chain, period. Out of every new chain that I've been looking at for the better part of the last year, the only one that I've really genuinely been excited about is this. It's Mega ETH. Tempo will also be exciting when it comes out later this year. I assume it'll be later this year, probably. But it's Mega ETH. Mega ETH is clearly the most interesting thing. It's got the most interesting ecosystem, albeit they did lose Noise, albeit they did lose GTE. They still do have Euphoria. There's plenty of other interesting apps launching there. Their team seems very good for what it is. Brett is an excellent communicator. So I'm interested. There have been some fumbles, like what the hell happened with Kook? That was bizarre. But I think there's a really good shot here. I think there's a good shot that Mega ETH does something solid. And yeah, they're launching at, in my opinion, not great market timing. Like, I don't love where the market's at right now. I was thinking that it might dump a little bit today. It did. So I'm not a huge fan of where the market's at. I'm not a huge fan. But if it's going to launch at any time, it needs to go live at some point. It kind of missed a lot of the target for last year, right? Like, the optimal time to launch a chain last year probably would have been sometime during the summer. Get that last leg up, some activity towards the end of the year. That's been missed, and we're now in what is clearly a downtrend, so it's probably not the best time to be launching, but I'm for it. And I think there's enough new apps on there that are going to be worth trying. Like, it's going to be worth trying. Noise. It's going to be worth trying. Or, well, Noise is not actually on. It's definitely going to be worth trying Euphoria. There's a bunch of new NFT projects that are going to go live there. And, like, you know what? At some point, got to believe in something. I find this exciting. I find this to be a genuine, wholehearted attempt at building something cool. I'm for it. I'm looking forward to it. No way we got to wait till September. Smart move code for September. It's February, not September. I can't tell if people are joking. That's funny. That's funny. Damn Europeans. Damn Europeans. Okay. That, I think there's another post on that. I would talk about that, but I think there's another post on that. Yeah. Perfect. This is what I was looking for. A few days ago, we talked about this guy named John D'Agata who stole money from the U.S. government through his dad. His dad didn't know, or at least we think his dad didn't know. His dad is a U.S. government contractor who's tasked with like safeguarding and managing money that was seized from theft, right? Like someone stole $40 million of cryptocurrency. His dad was able to help recover it and help seize the funds, make sure that the funds are maintained, taken care of, and redistributed elsewhere to the people that actually, need who it's stolen from. He used his dad's credentials or information or whatever to steal from that safeguarded asset setup. He stole from the U.S. government. We talked about this last time. In fact, let me see. U.S. launches an investigation into an alleged $90 million crypto theft by the son of the contractor who helped secure government wallets. That's referring to this John Lick, right? John D'Agata is his actual name, where he flexed to his friends. He flexed to his friends how much money he had stolen because his other friends were also flexing how much money they had stolen. Incredible stuff by the youth nowadays. And in the process, he was recorded. ZachXBT, who's a phenomenal on-chain researcher and investigator, basically outed all this. The U.S. government has now opened up an investigation, but in that time, in the time between when ZachXBT announced this and this investigation was opened, John D'Agata laundered the money, did multiple giveaways in public channels of the money, told his crew to report him to the feds and to file IC3s, talked shit about or to his former juvie handler, launched a meme coin, ran it up, got scammed by a LooksMax streamer, Clavicular, by the way. Clavicular's Instagram handler, whatever, scammed him, rugged the meme coin, laundered the rest of the money, got, a full 8 to 16 hours of sleep every night. His Aura ring is going phenomenal for 5 nights. And now the U.S. government is opening an investigation. Honestly, dude, respect. I hope he goes to jail because this is actually ridiculous. But at least he's not acting like a loser in the process, I can't. I can't. This is ridiculous. What a terrible human being. What a terrible garbage person. File a report now to help law enforcement catch me. Oh my gosh. What a small fish I am now. I still want my $30 of Ethereum back for my treasure that you wrongfully seized from me. And bro, obviously you can use Metro and T-Mobile. I see whatever across both networks, given it's Metro by T-Mobile. He has a 10,000 subscriber Instagram, bro, or Telegram. 10,000 subscribers. Wow. He got scammed by Clavicular. Or at least whatever guy Clavicular pays to handle his Instagram DMs, scammed this guy. Stole literal government money. Dude, reality is oftentimes way more interesting than fiction. So the TLDR here is the guy has a dad who works as a government contractor. His job as a government contractor is to protect stolen money. He used his dad's credentials to steal said stolen money from the government, stole $40 million. And then once he was outed, once he was caught publicly by some guy on the internet, he decided, you know what? Game on, launders the money, gives out some of it, launches a meme coin, scams the meme coin, gets scammed by Clavicular, and makes memes on the internet. You just really can't make this stuff up. Like this is just incredible technology. Welcome to crypto. Welcome to crypto. Truly. Oh, man. Like, actually ridiculous. What a terrible person. But also, game. We should talk about that. I don't know if that's necessarily accurate, but we could talk about that, maybe. Just doing some scrolling. Okay, I want to respond to this. Yeah. Is this Ludwig? I think this is Ludwig. So Ludwig here creates maybe the single greatest Minecraft clip of all time. We're going to break this down, but first, let's watch it.
Oh, yeah. I can't.
Dude. So we're gonna break down. We're gonna break down why that might be the greatest Minecraft clip of all time, and maybe the single best example of someone being bad at video games I've ever seen. I cannot. There's a reason why this went so viral. It is unbelievable precision of making the wrong mistake in a video, like a series of mistakes in a video game I've ever seen. So he dies. He's in the end, or he's going to go to the end dimension. He picks up his stuff, goes right back in. That's the first mistake. What are you doing here? You don't know. You don't have the right items. You don't have the right. You can't go out there. You go into a fight. You're bringing a knife to a gunfight where every gun is like the biggest laser beam you've ever seen. Like this is not. He is not prepared for this fight. Hops in. He's now in the end. Okay? And here's where things go from bad to worse. There is a huge gap here. He does not even have the blocks to begin. He does not have the blocks to begin this crossing. So the fact that he's even attempting this crossing is a mistake. That's mistake number one. Or mistake at this point, number two. But he begins anyway. All right? Random blocks. I mean, fine. Work with what you've got, but it's just like, it's giving absolute noob territory. Like this, there's nothing's going right here. And then he switches to a half slab. In Minecraft, when you place a half slab like this, you are still within the same block region, okay? What's happening here is he's trying to build here, but he can't because you can only build in a grid, right? Like you have a three-dimensional grid. You have block, right? Like imagine that. He is trying to place a block into where he is currently standing. That is how Minecraft reads these regions. Now, if you don't know, like this is actually a mistake that you might honestly make, but he can't tell that he is currently standing within the half slab, which means he is standing within where the next block is supposed to be. So you cannot place a block in that condition. If he wants to place that block, he needs to, while crouching, while shifting, needs to jump and place the next block. But he doesn't realize that.
Oh yeah.
He fails. He's confused. He starts jumping, and he's trying to place it where he's already standing. He can't do that because when you're standing in the half slab, you can't jump high enough to place the other block. You can't. So you are unable to jump like that. Like, he's just trying to place it in all the wrong ways. So he's now made, 4, maybe 5 mistakes? He comes up here. And I don't know what he did wrong there. Like, he just mistimed his jump or mistimed his click. He should have been able to place that. But that's just a skill issue. Like, that's just a skill issue. I don't know what's going on there. Ludwig, skill issue. Fails to place it. Tries again. Fails again. Switches to the fence. And he was able to place it because the fence has a different hitbox. The fence hitbox allowed him to place it while on the slab, but the problem is the fence also has an extended hitbox going up. So now he has placed a block that blocks his access, makes it way more difficult for him to walk around this slab. There's now a massive obstruction here that is most likely going to make him fall to his death. And you can't jump on top of it because it's a fence. Fences have higher hitboxes so that they can fence things in, including players. So he can't jump on top of it. He's now at like 8 mistakes deep. And then he starts trying to break it by hand. That's a mistake. And he switches to an axe, which he thinks will help him break it faster. It technically breaks faster because he's using a tool, but it's a nether brick fence. It is not wood. Nether brick does not respond to axes. It responds to pickaxes. He's done everything wrong. And then he gets lazy and he doesn't finish breaking it. Whether or not maybe he didn't know, maybe he got lazy, but he doesn't even finish breaking it. So now he's wasted his time. And then he tries to place a block. Okay, I can see where you're thinking. Tries to go forward. You could that was it. You had it. All you had to do was just keep walking forward. You were right there. Misses the jump. And now he's blocked himself in. He can't get out of here. He can, if he really knew what he was doing. Not even really knew what he was doing. If he knew what he was doing, he could get out of here pretty easily. But this guy has no idea what he's doing. He's not breaking the blocks. He's stuck. And then he gets sniped by the Ender Dragon. And he's dead. Maybe the single, 1 minute long clip. It is a 1 minute long clip. Maybe the single worst minute of video gaming ever performed by a single person on the planet in the history of ever. Definitely in Minecraft, for sure. Unreal. GG Ludwig. Wow. It's actually crazy. It's actually wild. I grew up on Minecraft, so that clip is that is something. That is something to watch if you grew up on Minecraft. Oh man. Wow. Oh. Oh boy. Oh boy. We got plenty more clip farming to do because we got a long weekend ahead of us. So let's get through these bad boys, all right? Where are we at? What did I want to talk about? I want to see if I missed anything here that I want to go back to. No. We got it. Didn't read that yet, so we got it. No, we're all right. No. This is kind of interesting, but I don't really have much to add to it. Let me just see. Is there anything going on here? By the way, if you guys are watching live right now, I'd love to see you guys in the chat. Excuse me, be that on Pump Fun or X. Would love to see what you guys have to say. Say hello. If not, no problemo, but I would love to say hello. Oh, yeah, this is what I want to talk about for a second. OpenAI is building a social network. This is ChatGPT. They're building a new social media platform. What that means, who knows? But they've already been trying this. They kind of tipped their hand at this when they launched, what is it, Zora? No, not Zora. What? Sora. Hold on, let me see. OpenAI. Social media. I think it's Sora. Yeah, it is. Okay. So OpenAI is officially launching, or at least reportedly launching. Let's start one more time. OpenAI is reportedly launching a social network. Okay, they're trying to launch their new social media platform. They've reportedly been working on this for a while, and I mean, you could kind of read through the tea leaves, right? They launched Sora. The whole idea was to be some kind of social network where everyone was just creating new videos, which spurred a brand new AI social media craze because the videos were pretty good. They came out pretty high quality. So they're building a social network of some kind, and they want to use Sam Altman's WorldCoin orbs for human verification. If you see this and you don't know because you don't know what crypto is, so you have no idea what WorldCoin is, Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, the guy who leads ChatGPT, has another business that he's a part of called WorldCoin. And the whole idea is you get these orbs, like these balls with a camera inside of them, and you go up to it and you show it your eyeball, and it scans your retina. And it's kind of like your fingerprint, right? Like kind of how your fingerprint is unique. Your retina is unique as well. And it scans your eyeball and it uses that to prove like this is the only person on the planet that has this eyeball. This is the only person on the planet with this retina. And that is your account. That's how you log into your account, right? That's how you prove that I'm allowed to make this account because I am me and I am this eyeball and I am an individual person that's never opened an account before. The idea is they don't want bots. They don't want bots. They don't want all this, like bot slop, all this, thousands of fake accounts. They don't want that. They just want one account, one person. That's the idea. That's what they're trying to pull off. And in the world of AI, where every account is fake, it makes a lot of sense. And honestly, I think that this is kind of the way that Sam Altman is trying to undermine Elon Musk. Elon Musk owns Twitter. One of Twitter's biggest problems is bots, is like the slop bot fest that is just the reality of Twitter because anyone can make an account. All you need is an email. So you could spin up thousands of accounts in a few hours or a few seconds, even if you really know what you're doing. Maybe not seconds, but like if you know what you're doing, you could spin up a couple thousand accounts and just spam the hell out of Twitter. You could do that. They're trying to prevent that. I would not be shocked if OpenAI engaged in like some underhanded or at least allowed AI slop bot spam on all other social media platforms and said, wow, you guys are having so many problems with all the spam, all these bots. If you want to just make sure that you're talking to a real person, you should come to OpenAI social media platform X, whatever it is. Kind of a goated plan. Kind of makes a lot of sense. That's kind of where I think it's going. But again, like, I don't know if I really trust OpenAI, and I certainly don't trust them as like my primary social media source, but I'll probably sign up. I will probably be scanning my eyeball so I can go join OpenAI and just get all the likes and all the engagement on whatever social media platform they're making. Probably. Oh, geez. I verified my eyes. I'm telling you, I verified my eyeballs. Like, kind of what a world we live in today. What a world we live in today. 1,000 teams signed up for that. Wow, that's crazy. That would have been something good to talk about. Whatever. Is this real? Grok, is this real? Let's see. Is this real? Grok, is this real? Confirming IP. Let's see. I'm looking. It's pulling sources. Dang. It seems accurate. Wow. Okay. So shout out to all my friends here in Jersey, baby. Jersey Mike's is working with Morgan Stanley and JP Morgan on an IPO. They're looking at a $12 billion valuation. $12 billion for Mike's, for Jersey Mike's. Honestly, one of the best New Jersey trends of all of 2025 was, yeah, I'll have a sub. Yeah, I'll have it Mike's way. Yeah, Mike could have its way with it. I'm sorry. Oh, Jersey Mike's and Mike's way. Dude, unbelievable subs. The chicken Chipotle chicken Chipotle. The Chipotle chicken sandwich. I think it's the number 6 at Jersey Mike's. Maybe one of the single best sandwiches you could ever buy on the planet. Unbelievable. Unreal, even. So, you know what? For $12 billion, I'm here for it. Jersey Mike's going for a $12 billion IPO val. I'm there for it. And you know what? All they need to do is say our sandwiches are coming with AI. And bang, $100 billion valuation by 2027. Done. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Dude, it's like, I've got the sniffles. It's like so itchy. I don't know what's going on. But, dude, $12 billion for the best sandwiches on the planet, the best subs on the planet, out of New Jersey, God bless. I'm here for it. Jersey Mike's, I'll be there on IPO day. Call me an underwriter. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, that's funny. Let's see. I love this. I love this meme. I got to say, this meme's fantastic, right? Like, Amazon is announcing they're laying off 16,000 corporate employees due to a rising competition over AI, which, interesting. I hope I don't get fired today at the Fired Factory. One of the best meme templates of 2026. I love this. I love seeing this meme. I hope I don't. Oh, man. What a great meme. You could kind of like throw whatever you want here, you know? Hope I don't get fired today. Get at the Fired Factory. What's another example? Hope I don't lose all my money at the one-sided casino factory, like House Always Wins factory. There's a lot of ways you could play this meme. I think it's great. We're going to keep going. Yeah, I want to talk about this for a second. One of the reasons why there's been such a rise in socialism and other kinds of these concepts that are super anti-capitalist is because a lot of people, a lot of kids, a lot of, not kids. Let me restart with this. One of the reasons why there's been such a rise against capitalism and moving towards things like socialism and communism, why like people like Mamdani get elected, and why the masses have been super for this, is when you look at the markets today, and when you look at the social contract that is capitalism, one of the things, like of a myriad of problems, of a myriad of other things, one of the biggest ones has been, what are the good opportunities in the stock market that people my age, let's say 20s and 30s, have had in the last 10, 20 years? There's not been many. Figma IPOs, it's down 75% since it IPO'd. 75%. This is the kind of IPO, this is the kind of participation in the stock market that people my age have today. And it's not shocking when there is nothing, like down $86, down 75%. There's nothing to invest in. There's no way. The upward mobility is so hard these days. So it's not shocking when young people in droves are like, this whole capitalism thing isn't serving me. At least I don't think it's serving me because my dollars aren't going up. If anything, I'm kind of interested in Figma. I find myself to be a creative. I work on this stuff. I want to take some of my hard-earned money and invest it in a company that I use kind of daily, and I respect their work. Oh no, I'm down 75%. And it's like, it's not surprising when the social contract that is capitalism is damning people because no one's making money like they used to. IPOs for the boomers or whatever used to be things like McDonald's, and they got on an Apple stock in like 1992. They got on Nvidia years ago. And people my age are just like, I guess we had Tesla, and that was it. And if you missed Tesla, you never got another one. Like that's it. It's like Tesla, and that's basically it. There's like basically no other really solid IPOs. And now if you look at the future IPOs, you've got SpaceX, which is targeting a $1.5 trillion valuation. So all of the upside was entirely lost to the public. You look at OpenAI, where a bunch of people probably would have invested in that 2, 3, 4 years ago when they started their public releases. But the public didn't have the opportunity to invest in it until years later. And they're screwed. That's going to be a $1 trillion valuation. Where's the upside in that for me? Simply not there. So this is actually, if you want to point to a reason like, hey, why is socialism on the rise? Why is communism on the rise? Ideologically speaking, it's because young people nowadays don't have the same opportunity to make life-changing money as their parents used to. And it doesn't feel like the system is serving them anymore. That's why. So honestly, I would not be shocked. I would not be shocked if there's an actual push at some point in the next few years to change some of the laws and regulations, specifically around the stock market, to be more, specific here. I would not be shocked to see a lot of laws and regulations get changed to allow people earlier and at least more like freer access to earlier stage companies because we're just not getting the access that our parents used to. So our investment funds are not getting involved nearly as early on. We're not seeing our retirement accounts growing. We're not seeing our long-term investment accounts growing because if you invest in today's market and you're investing outside of, let's say, the top 5, you're getting absolutely plundered. Taken out back and having a bad time. What else we got? Oh, yeah, we got to talk about this. This is huge. Huge. I don't think that's actually accurate, though. I don't know if this tweet is accurate. So hold on. I don't know if that tweet is accurate. So I'm going to go find another one. Hold on. Tesla. 1 second, chat. Discontinue. No, let's go to X. Sorry, chat. 1 second. Share this tab. Okay. Is it accurate? Is it actually Q2? Wow. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it seems it is. Okay. Huge, and I mean this, huge news out of Tesla this year. By June 30th of this year, 2026, Tesla announced that they will officially discontinue the Model S and Model X. These are huge, huge announcements. This is like the Model S is the sedan, and the Model X is the gull-wing door SUV out of Tesla. They're not going to be making them anymore. They're going to stop making, like the Teslas that you see on the road today, they're not going to be making them anymore. As successful as those cars have been, as many cars as have been sold from Tesla, they decided it's not worth it anymore because they're going to make room in their factories for the Optimus bots. Those bots that look like humans with hands that walk around, like AI bots that walk around. That's what they're going to be replacing them with. They're not going to be making the same amount of cars. They are going to make cars, but the cars that they make are intended to be, over the course of the next 4 years, they're swapping over to this, fully autonomous. They want fully autonomous driving cars, fully AI cars that drive on their own. Maybe don't even have a steering wheel. Within the next 4 years, that's their target. And if they're not making those cars, they're making humanoid robots. I'm not joking. This is a real decision that they made. This is probably one of the single biggest decisions we've seen in a product line from any company on the planet in the last decade. In my opinion, I think it's not even close. How many times have you seen a company as big as Tesla look at its number one products and say, we're just going to stop selling them, like immediately? Because they're switching over the entire factory to produce humanoid robots. You cannot make this up. There's got to be more on this. Hold on. That also means, by the way, they're going to stop making the truck, the Cybertruck, the Tesla Cybertruck. Like these cars, this Tesla and this SUV, they're done. They're going to stop making them forever. And the only car that they're actually going to make, they're only going to make two types of cars. They're going to make fully autonomous cars, and they're going to make the Tesla Roadster. And those are the only two cars that they're going to make. That's it. And the Roadster is basically a supercar. So they're making a super sports car and a fully autonomous car and then humanoid robots, and that is the plan. That is the future of Tesla. And not only that, Tesla's doing some other crazy stuff too. Tesla has bought a huge stake in xAI. So this is like Grok, right? Like Elon Musk's AI competitor to ChatGPT, to Claude, to Gemini. This is Elon Musk's AI competitor. Tesla is taking a huge stake in xAI. And there's word that SpaceX is looking to merge with xAI. And then, on top of all that, they might actually want to take it public. Either SpaceX or xAI or both together, whatever. They might want to take it public. Honestly, at this point, it makes a lot more sense to think about what Elon Musk is doing, as Elon Musk is not building 5 companies. He is building one company. He is building SpaceX, Neuralink, Starlink is part of SpaceX. SpaceX, Neuralink, xAI, Twitter, and Tesla. Those are not 5 individual companies. That is one company. It is one overall entity. That is the best way to think about it. Everything is built to support each other. Even if not officially, even if not directly, that is the plan. And this is arguably the most influential company, in my opinion, over the next 15 years. Whether you like him or not, you're going to have to find out what he's doing, because SpaceX, that's space. That's that frontier. That the connectivity through Starlink. We're going to put people on Mars, apparently, sooner than later. That's important. And all of our roads are going to get replaced at some point by autonomous driving vehicles. And it seems like they're leading the charge, because they're actually going to stop selling cars that that you could drive. Other than the Roadster, which is a supercar and not meant to just be like the everyman's car, like the Model 3 is. I think it's like $30,000. It's not meant to be that. It's meant to be a toy. So their cars are going to be fully self-driving taxis, practically. And they're going to make Optimus robots that are meant to genuinely replace people at things like factories or whatever. We are entering one of the craziest times imaginable, in my opinion. Like, born too late to discover the world, born too early to travel the stars, but born at exactly right time to find out what the automatization of everything is going to look like. I'll say that one more time. Born too late to explore the world, born too early to explore the stars, but born at exactly the right moment in time to see what the autonomization of everything is going to look like. And it looks like Tesla is trying to spearhead that drive, both literally and figuratively, and also not literally, because you're not driving. The robot is driving. Right. Wild. What else we got? What else we got? Oh, dude, that was crazy. A new IVF company, Nucleus IVF in vitro fertilization, allows parents to select their best baby through embryonic genetic analysis while eliminating the undesirable others. What's the meme? It's like man-made horrors beyond my comprehension. You can now be like, I want to have a higher likelihood of my baby being blonde. I want to have a higher likelihood of my baby being 6'2". You can apparently do that. I want the lowest possibility of my child having autism. I want my child to have a higher IQ. You can apparently, I'm not joking, you can actually pick it. Like, you could pick it. Designer babies are real. You could pick the baby of your choosing. You can. IVF has been a huge boon, right? For like wanting parents. I'm a full supporter of IVF and in vitro fertilization. It works. It's a good thing. But wow, we're getting to a spot where we can literally have designer babies. This was thesisized like, decades ago. People thought, what if we could just change the genetics of a potential child? Like, what if we could just have designer babies? And people have made jokes about it. It's like, oh, you're gonna be like, oh, I want my brown-haired baby. Like, no, you can actually apparently do it now. For real. Like, it's not even a question anymore. You just pay for it. No, there, yeah, bang. Wait, is this real? I mean, aside from this stupid joke, it's $10,000 a month? Honestly, 10 grand for the perfect baby doesn't seem that out of the question. Wow. Keep going. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Abella Danger, girlfriend of the starting quarterback of the Miami Hurricanes, she has a history. Abella Danger plans to become an NFL agent. She's a current University of Miami law student. Shout out law students. And is targeting a career as a sports agent after getting her degree. Honestly, as a former adult film star, I understand where the jokes are coming from. But also, like, I totally respect this. I totally respect it. Especially like leaving such a toxic industry that is the adult film industry and getting into being, well, I mean, sports can be pretty toxic, but like getting a law degree and pursuing a career as a sports agent, I respect this. A lot of people are going to clown her for it. You know what? Like, honestly, this is what life improvement is about. It's a much more respectable career, in my opinion. And like, this is great. I think this is great. Good for her. I hope she does very well as an NFL agent. And also, I mean, she has plenty of marketing. So people will know who she is. So that should be able to help her bring in business. And I hope she does great. I hope she becomes a skillful NFL agent and does a great job. As I'm doing this, I'm realizing if I get clipped for this, like, people would be like, oh yeah, you're a fan? No, I support the move, man. I support the move. I saw the tweet. People are going to clown her. And it's like, no. One, it is hard to get through law school. So if she's doing it, she's a smart girl. That came off as really patronizing. Smart lady. Damn. Now I'm canceled. for the Clippers. Let's try it with this instead. One, it's hard to get through law school, right? Like, it's not that easy. So if she's doing well, she's smart. She's smart. So, like, all the clouding are for people, my opinion, don't know what they're talking about, can't do what she's doing because it is hard. And honestly, I respect it. Like, good on her. I hope she does great. I will say this. It is a little wild that of all the players that Polymarket Sport decided that they wanted to pair with Abella Danger is Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs is known for being like the biggest womanizer in the NFL, period. He is that's what he's known for. This is a crazy image to pair with Abella Danger. But honestly, good for her. Like, I do wish her the absolute best. And you know what? Shout out, Abella. Shout out. Wishing you the best in your career. And good luck on the bar. I will also need it too. Oh, man. Man, that is going to be a tough clip. That is going to be a tough clip. I want to hear this.
This is, you're so wrong on this. This is so wrong. Shut the fuck up. A lot of you niggas are bitches. Pussies. Never had a gun in your life. Never been in a use of force situation in your fucking life. You want to sit here and talk about, why did you shoot though? Just shoot him in the leg. Why'd you do that? You bitch ass niggas. Somebody calls your name at Burger King. Oh God. When you're getting your fucking fries in your Burger King, your fucking Whopper, because you're a dumbass. Oh shit. You niggas get surprised when your name is called to get your fast food. You want to talk about, that was a bad shoe. Shut the fuck up.
You know, I'm not going to listen to this whole thing. Apparently he's quoted. I can't. Like, I can't be asked to listen to Myron. I'm a far right. He says, apparently, I'm a far right American nationalist. If you don't like it, get the hell off my channel, dog. I'm calling it. This is the top. This might actually be the top on far right American nationalism. If this is like one of the voices of the movement, no, this is just like laughable. I think Kanye's on something. I think Kanye might have nailed the trend. Kanye takes out a full page ad apologizing for his anti-Semitism over the past few years in the Wall Street Journal, which in and of itself is a funny move. And I get what you're doing. Funny that he thought that was the best way to reach the most Jewish people possible by taking out a full page ad in the Wall Street Journal. Funny. But also, like, he's saying, you know what? I'm sorry. This was a bad decision. It has gone too far. Clearly, like, this trend is cooked. If Myron Gaines is going on the internet and saying, I'm a far right American nationalist, if you don't like it, get the hell off my channel, bro, you're just like, no one trusts this guy. And like, this is not anyone's thought leader. It's like, it's laughable. It is actually laughable. Like, if this is one of the far right Avengers, bro, just the ship has sailed. The ship has sailed. Cancel it. It's like, what are we doing? Like, this is so stupid. This is so stupid. Far right American nationalist. Like, bro, grow up. This is the kind of thing you do when you have nothing else to talk about. People don't actually care about you or anything that you believe. They don't find you interesting. So you just have to be extreme. And you don't have money coming in through other ways. Like, you are not useful to society. You are not providing a value in society that makes you valuable enough that you have to do something crazy to get people's attention so that you can get some kind of sponsorship dollars or some kinds of subscription dollars. And that is what this is. What a dude, what a nerd. Like, I'm out of it. Like, this is just this is how you completely torpedo a movement. Imagine describing yourself as a far right American nationalist, and this is one of the voices of that movement. Disgusting. Like, bro, I can't even listen to him. And the fact that he keeps showing up my feed just like aggravates me. Like, I don't want to see any Myron Gaines. In fact, Where do I do this? Block. Good night. And that's that. Oh, Dave Portnoy. Dave Portnoy. I just can't hate this guy enough. I cannot get over him. This is not an inconsequential meme that he put out. Dave Portnoy is shilling meme coins again. The last time he did this, he led thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people to the slaughter, made fun of them the whole way, rinsed people of their money. This is a guy, Dave Portnoy is a guy that does not care about his followership. He does not care about the people that think he's a cool dude. He doesn't. If he can extract $1 out of them, if he can extract their entire life savings out of them, he will do whatever it takes to do so. This is supposedly a guy who brags about how rich he is. He brags about it. He is buying, let me see, 9 Sol at a 9K market cap and then shilling it to his followers. If you don't know what that means, he's buying about $1,000 of a token that's worth basically zero and then promoting it to an audience of quite literally 4 million people on Twitter. No, not quite literally, it's 3.8. and then just like trying to run it up. It's actually ludicrous. It's ludicrous. How does anyone look up to this guy and be like, that's a cool guy. I like Dave. I like him. He doesn't care a damn about you and wants to basically steal your money. This is a laughable, he is actually a loser, in my opinion. I don't care what he did. I don't care about the business media empire that he's built. This is loser behavior. This is actually pathetic. As someone that trades plenty of crypto and has seen plenty of people trade these things, and I get the idea. Work for your bags. I'm a crypto guy. But this is where I draw the line, Dave. My line is here. You are here. Goodbye. And you know what? He's going to stay. He's going to the problem is not problem. He's just going to stay in the news cycles. Not going to get arrested for this. Means nothing. He's just going to rinse his followership, make a bunch of money, or even just a couple $1,000s, whatever it is, off his followership. And just, in my opinion, the only thing he loses is his own credibility. But also, it's Dave Portnoy, bro. I can't stand this guy. What else we got? We got a few more to run through. Yeah, we'll go 2-3 more. Okay. Microsoft has had one of the worst days in stock market history, period. Today, they lost around $440 billion off of their market cap. That was about, I think, a negative 10, 12%. Yeah, 12%. Negative 12%. Steve Ballmer's net worth went down negative $14 billion today. Imagine losing $14 billion in a day. That was Steve Ballmer's day today. That's amazing. That's incredible. What kind of day is that? I wonder what that must feel like. I've lost $100 on a slot before, a slot machine. I wonder what it's like to lose $14 billion in a few hours. Probably not that fun. Probably not that fun. But who knows? I mean, Steve Ballmer knows. Steve Ballmer knows what that's like. $14 billion in a few hours. Negative $440 billion on the day. That is bigger than a lot of countries. That is more money lost in one day in terms of value than many countries have ever seen. God bless. All right. What else we got? Oh man. Well, let's get a stretch in here. Let's get loose. Oh. There we go. We got it. We got 2 or 3 more to go through. Gold has now outperformed Bitcoin on a 5-year basis. This is the most troubling thing, in my opinion, as pertains to Bitcoin, that there it is. Like that, this is it. It's not the hardest asset. Like the hardest asset has been gold for the last 5 years. Gold has outperformed Bitcoin. Why are you going to go through all the risk, all the concern that is Bitcoin, like all the existential risk that has been Bitcoin, when you could have just bought gold, the asset that has stood the test of all time? We're talking about the precious metal, the premier, the numero uno, the thing everyone wears around their necks, gold. And it's outdoing Bitcoin. How do you go to an investment guy and you're like, Tom, because his name is Tom. Tom, we need to figure out where we want to allocate resources. What is the strongest asset of the last 5 years? Oh, well, it's gold. Oh, well, okay. Well, what about Bitcoin? Bitcoin is the frontier of technology. It's doing great. It's not even outperforming gold. Gold is thousands, if not like that. It's been an asset. It's been a premier asset for thousands and thousands of years. It's been the premier asset since the beginning of human history. Outside of like steak, which is pretty good. How do you make that argument? Will Bitcoin last the next 100 years? Like gold has been around since the start of planet Earth. It's lasted. It's like, where are we? I mean, I don't know what the hell Mert is talking about here. The dev of gold is God. All right, bro. I mean, yes, it's true. Actually, dev of gold is God. I'm there with you. I'm there with you. But what a weird way to shit talk Bitcoin. It's just not looking great for Bitcoin the last 5 years. The upside has just not been there. It really has not. I mean, maybe it is just like the OGs of Bitcoin are waking up, selling in droves. Maybe we're going through a 5-year accumulation. Maybe the next decade is going to just be blast off again. But it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to sell Bitcoin as an institutional asset when a thousands and thousands and millions of years old asset is outperforming it on the 5-year. How do you support that? How do you say that's the one? Tough look, guys. This is a tough look for crypto. This chart is the toughest look. This chart is the toughest look in crypto. Bitcoin is digital gold. Gold itself is way better, clearly. The market thinks so. At least in the last 5 years. We have the crypto president. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The market is the market, and the price tells the story. And the price is telling a story that is kind of damning to Bitcoin right now. I'm still long-term bullish Bitcoin. I'm still super into, I'm committed. I'm committed. But this is a tough look. This is a really, really tough look for Bitcoin. What else? Yeah, so this is huge. This is actually, wow, there go my contacts again. Oh my God, can't see. We're back. All right. This is actually huge news for anyone that cares about prediction markets. The CFTC has moved to withdraw the 2024 rule proposal, which seeks to bar sports and political event contracts, and will craft new rules clarifying event contracts, per CFTC Chairman Mike Selig. CFTC will also defend its exclusive jurisdiction, that's big, in court cases going forward. That is huge. A lot of people who haven't been following, a lot of people in crypto Twitter and just generally at large have been talking about prediction markets, and they don't really know what they're talking about. And they just like to say, oh, prediction markets are going to win. They're going to eat everything. They're doing great. The last few weeks have not been great for prediction markets. Kalshi specifically received an injunction. They received a preliminary injunction from Massachusetts And Massachusetts said, you guys cannot offer sports contracts to Massachusetts residents, and you have 30 days to comply, which is not good for Kalshi. It's not good. And by extension, anywhere else anywhere else in the United States that was suing Kalshi started to take that preliminary injunction, used it as supplementary evidence, and said, hey, Massachusetts is not a fan. That is kind of an example of like, we should also not be fans. Look, here's another state confronting the same problem and saying it's not looking great. And a lot of other states were starting to lean in the direction of, hey, the gaming lobbies are huge. They have tons of money. They're lobbying harder. And the law seemed to support the gaming commissions. Like, it seemed to just support sports betting as it exists today. And looked really bad for Polymarket and Kalshi. And any other prediction market that wanted to offer the similar products in the same vein. And part of that was a lot of these like Kalshi was relying on the statement or relying on this rule from the CFTC. So Kalshi was relying on this rule. I'll say it one more time. Kalshi was relying on a rule from the CFTC for a while, where the idea is if you offer a CFTC regulated contract or whatever it is, if you offer a CFTC regulated market, that market has to be available across all 50 states. No one can impede that. That's the rule. That's how it is. Here's the thing. The CFTC said, but this isn't back in September. The CFTC was like, by the way, for like these sport contract things that we're talking about, for that, we're going to defer to the states. We're going to let the states, that's like their thing. And then the government shut down in September, and immediately thereafter, Kalshi and the other prediction markets started losing because the CFTC didn't seem to be like, we were not going to get federal preemption. And the states were like, well, federal preemption isn't here. You guys are screwed. And started to chip away against the prediction markets because the sports gaming commissions, they want to make a lot of money and they do not want these new entrants coming out of nowhere just reaping all the rewards. They don't want it. Obviously, for obvious reasons. Game is game, literally. But now it seems the CFTC is switching its tune and coming back. And that is fascinating. That is fascinating. And if the CFTC tries to take it, like here, CFTC will also defend its exclusive jurisdiction in court cases going forward. Is the CFTC going to overstep states and say that they have the ability to regulate over the states? So, like, does Nevada have the ability to overrule the CFTC? That's what they're going to say. No, like the CFTC should be able to have federal preemption. And if the CFTC tells Nevada, hey, you guys are going to have to deal with Kalshi, are they just going to accept that? Or are they going to sue the CFTC and say that this law should be invalidated? Whatever law they come up with. This is the single most important update that we received with regards to prediction markets in the last 6 months. This is crazy. This is actually huge news. And people that haven't been following the saga don't know what's going on. This is big. This is really big. My prediction, I think there's enough money starting to come in on behalf of the prediction markets that they might not get everything that they're looking for, but they might get some serious concessions. And I would not be shocked to see Polymarket and Kalshi and all these other prediction markets still offering sports contracts in the next year or 2 years, if not further. And if they can take that market, that is a huge, huge market. Wow, that was a Trumpism right there. That is a huge market to take advantage of. And by the way, I'll tell you this. I don't know too much about what's going on here, but I will tell you for a fact, I do know some people that are doing some very, very, very heavy research into how effective prediction markets are on an institutional standpoint, right? Especially when it comes to replacing options or derivatives or even like perps on things like Bitcoin or other assets. And they look economically extremely viable. I think I'm not. I'm trying to see what I could say about this because I don't know how much this individual that I was speaking with like wants me to share. Mathematically speaking, there is a world where Polymarket is cheaper to use than Hyperliquid for the same expression of bullishness or bearishness on an asset. There is a world where that's the case. And it might even be this current world that we're in right now. Like that actually might be currently the case. There's going to be plenty of research that comes out on that, in my opinion, as far as I've seen. And I think this is the single, like this is the frontier of DeFi, in my opinion. This is the frontier of finance. And if that also involves sports gambling, which it seems like it is, we are in for a very, very interesting next 6 to 12 months. My opinion. Book it. Anything else? Is there anything else I need to talk about today? Anything else? Yeah. I guess I'll mention this.
You were unmuted, my boy. Try one more time.
Chat.
There you go.
Oh, that's funny. The DAO is back. Okay. If anyone doesn't know what the DAO is one of the singular. For anyone that doesn't know what the DAO is one of the singular most important events in Ethereum's history. If you don't know what happened here, way back when, let me find the exact date. The DAO hack date. Yeah, 2016. Okay. So if you're new to crypto Twitter and you don't know what the DAO is, right? If you're a Solana maxi, whatever, the DAO is back. And if you don't know what the DAO is, back in 2016, one of the single biggest events in cryptocurrency history took place when millions and millions of dollars were poured into a single group called the DAO, which was supported by like the Ethereum Foundation. Basically, the who's who of Ethereum was all about this. It was all about the DAO. They conglomerated all these funds. The whole idea was to push cryptocurrency and Ethereum forward. It failed because there was a mega hack. There was a mega hack where all of the funds were drained. And they actually had to, this was the most important part here, is all of the funds were lost. Millions and millions of dollars are lost from the DAO in 2016. And in response, rather than say like, okay, well, the money's lost, that's just how it happens. This was when they rolled back Ethereum. They split Ethereum into two new chains. There's Ethereum. This is why Ethereum Classic exists. You have Ethereum Classic, and then you had Ethereum. This was the whole reason that there's two Ethereums. Because they forked the chain, and everyone moved to the new Ethereum because that's what everyone just agreed. Like, this is where we're going to have to do our stuff from now on because of the DAO. The DAO hack blew up. It was the single worst thing that ever happened, in my opinion, to Ethereum. And it's still cited today by decentralization advocates as to why Ethereum isn't truly decentralized. Because they rolled things back. When things went wrong for investors in the DAO, they rolled it back. And apparently, those funds, after the rollback, like after the fork, after the hard fork, where they split into a brand new chain, $220 million worth of Ethereum has been just sitting there ever since for years. And they're now finally activating it. They're bringing it back and they're getting things rolling again. And they're going to do something with the DAO. They're going to try and strengthen Ethereum and fund Ethereum focused and Ethereum aligned projects. They're going to try and they're going to try and fund Ethereum aligned and Ethereum focused projects with that $220 million. This is critical. The DAO is like, this is one of the biggest things that the SEC looked at and was like, guys, we need to clamp down on whatever's happening in crypto because people are raising money with the intent of profiting, like just basically doing security sales, unregistered security sales. This was one of the biggest moments in crypto legal history. And the SEC didn't even get a chance to act on it because it was already said and done. By the time that the SEC got a chance to comment on it, it was done. The money had all been hacked, forked, and returned back to the original users. Completely rewound. But I had no idea that, like Hasu, I had no idea. Hasu works on flash blocks. Hasu here works on flash blocks. He is intimately involved in Ethereum, and he had no idea that there was $220 million just sitting there. Classic Ethereum, by the way, to just like sit around with money. No one knows what's going on. This is exciting. I'm curious what they do. Like I'm very, very interested in what they do going forward. But wow, this is like, for you, if anyone doesn't know the lore of the DAO hack, this is one of the single most critical events in Ethereum and cryptocurrencies history. And I suggest you take a little read back. Just like look it up. What happened in the DAO hack? This is it. I think we're good. All right. We're gonna wrap this puppy up. Is there anything else we missed? Because I need to get to work. I have some stuff I gotta do. Fourth quarter. Oh, OpenAI is planning a fourth quarter IPO to race to beat Anthropic to market. I actually am kind of bullish on Q4 2026. This might be a great launch period. This might actually be phenomenal launch timing. So as generally speaking, annoyed as I am that the public has not had the opportunity to invest in OpenAI early on, if they're going to time the market right, in my opinion, the end of 2026 might be the beginning of like a really good cycle. Early call. We'll see how it plays out. But I think this might actually be a well-timed execution for their next IPO, for the IPO. GG Sam Altman. GG's. What else? Anything else? Quick skim. Quick skim ski. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm going to save that. Let me just see this for later. But that's not worth talking about. Okay. What? Bro. No. No, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. All right. Then I think, yeah, we're just going to call it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for today. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to be back on Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. You know the deal. Overexposed. Likes, comments, replies, whatever. It's all appreciated. It's all super helpful. And check out the Instagram at Eddie Kayal, Kayal. And yeah, you know the deals. So that's that. Peace, homies.